am 8 years old. I reach up on my toes to look in the small cracked mirror in the lacquered bamboo frame hanging on the wall of our house. I'm wishing with all my heart that I would see a pretty face. But the face looking back at me was ugly. My bottom lip looked like a bunch of bees stung me. I inherited this from my Black grandpa. My eyes became slits when I smiled, and they closed completely when I laughed. This from my Chinese side. But the thing that I hated the most was my bell-shaped nose. It looked like a train ran over it, leaving behind a flat space between the two ends. This was a double whammy from both my Chinese and my African heritage. Stupid races. Why can't I just have the white one? How far would you go to look pretty and feel accepted? Because it just might be more than you're thinking. After years of feeling ugly and invisible, I had had enough. I was ready to do whatever it took. And at 19, a low point in my life, I made a desperate, irreversible choice, one that would later regret deeply. It was the coldest Canadian winter in Toronto when I took the bus to Montreal. When I got there, they gave me an old hospital gown and told me to lie on a wooden kitchen table, which was covered in plastic so that my blood could be wiped off easily. I lay there waiting for the plastic surgeon who promised to erase my ethnic features and give me a pretty face. The thing is, I couldn't afford the anesthesia, and I didn't know what deep sedation was. I was terrified. It was a nightmare. But I was determined, and there was no turning back. After I healed, the face looking back at me in the mirror had eyes as wide as saucers. My lips were thinner and sexier. But best of all, I had that bridge on my nose. I was thrilled. There I was, the white version of me that I always dreamed of. Now I'll fit in and belong, I thought. And the admiring stares from the men that were falling over to buy me drinks told me that I had made the right choice. But then, a few years later in New York, I was speaking to a geneticist. And I told her that I hated my eyes and my lips and my nose and that I blamed it all on my many races. And she said something to me that rocked my newly constructed world and totally changed my perspective. Hannah, when you're born with many races, you inherit the dominant genes of each race. What? I almost fell off my chair. What does that mean? She assured me that the races that I hated also came with good traits which I inherited. Like my love of creative writing and the arts from my Chinese side. My adventurous free spirit from my Portuguese genes. From the rhythm in my soul from my Black grandpa's dance moves. It was the first time in my life that I had ever thought that there were good genes in my racial features, and that these represent who I am. So when I saw the movie The Color Purple with Oprah Winfrey and Whoopi Goldberg, they too had bell-shaped nose and fat lips, the same features that I hated growing up. But I saw that they didn't try to change themselves. They were authentic. Am I a racist against my own race? I asked myself. Suddenly, I felt ashamed that I had erased my own ethnic features for a one-color label. The thing is, I couldn't undo my face. But I had had enough of hating my ethnic features and hiding my Black race. And I wanted to make a difference in the world. I decided to make a liberating decision and come out of the racist closet that I have been hiding in for so long. And I began my healing journey, loving and forgiving that little girl inside, and embracing all my heritage. When I looked in the mirror this time, with my beautiful brown eyes, which were an authentic part of me, I felt a wave of deep love. And I knew that I am a beautiful work of art. Today, as I age, my ethnic features are resurfacing. Just when slanted Asian eyes and fat, juicy lips are all the rage. Those same features that I exchange for a one-color label. See, the danger of the one-color label is that we are limiting ourselves by creating inequality and by choosing not to acknowledge the kaleidoscope of beautiful mixed colors that we all are. With the popularity of DNA testing today, the awareness of our multiple races is emerging. And Black is not all Black. White is not all white. And brown, the genius that came up with brown, knew that brown is multiracial. We are all a mixture of races, despite the one-color label that we choose for ourselves. When we embrace all of our races, we can accept others as equals. And we can begin to erase racial bias in the world. My own beauty lay hidden in this ignorance. Yes, I was indoctrinated by racial injustice, by society and the books I read. And I'm passionate about eradicating it. To be truly authentic means to acknowledge and embrace all parts of ourselves. No one told me growing up the value of my many races. And I went to extreme lengths to erase my ethnic features so that I could fit in the popular majority and the white communities. Today, I feel blessed that I have had the opportunity to live my life not only as Black, white, but also as multiracial. I have a vision that one day soon the world will acknowledge that we're all equal. We are a mixed race. And this truth will eradicate racial bias. And together, we will change history in the world as we see it today. I invite you to stand in solidarity and join me in this journey. Thank you.